I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, April the 12th, 2016. 5 Jewish Israeli extremists were arrested on suspicion of being involved in hate crimes against Palestinians. The 5 include a soldier and 2 minors. 3 of the 5 were said to be brothers. The information was made public yesterday after a judge partially lifted a gag order. The 2 adult suspects were named by police as Shneur Dana, suspected of setting a Palestinian vehicle on fire, and Pinchas Shandorfi, suspected of, quote, security offenses. Yesterday, the Petah Tikva Magistrates Court extended the remand of all 5 suspects by 1 week until April the 18th. Israel's Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon noted the decline in terror attacks in Israel of late, which he said was a result of both Israeli activity and Palestinian activity. Ya'alon told military reporters at a briefing today that there had been an increase in Palestinian security forces' enforcement against would-be terrorists. As we reported to you yesterday, a large-scale attack was thwarted when Palestinian forces in cooperation with Israel found and arrested 3 young Palestinian men who were believed to have been on their way to carry out an attack. Ya'alon also noted a drop in the number of Jewish attacks against Palestinians, which he said also has, quote, influence on the other side. And staying with Ya'alon, the defense minister said today that Israel received written guarantees from Saudi Arabia regarding freedom of passage for Israeli ships through the Straits of Tiran, following Egypt's transfer last week of 2 islands in the Red Sea to Saudi Arabia. The islands of Sanafir and Tiran are located within Saudi Arabian territorial waters, and their ownership has been in dispute for decades. With their return, Saudi Arabia will provide Egypt with billions of dollars of aid. Ya'alon said the military appendix in the Israel-Egypt peace treaty had to be reopened in light of the new agreement over the islands. Israel has no peace agreement with Saudi Arabia. Israel also gave its okay for the construction of a bridge connecting the islands to the Saudi Arabian mainland. The islands are about 120 miles off of the coast of Israel's southernmost city of Eilat. Israel has once again issued a travel warning to its citizens in regards to Turkey. On Friday, the threat level for Turkey was raised to a high concrete threat, and Israelis with plans to travel to the country were urged to change those plans. Israelis currently in Turkey were told to, quote, exit as quickly as possible. Concern regarding Turkey is very high due to the threat from the Islamic State, who was responsible for the bombing last month in Istanbul that left 3 Israeli citizens dead. Travel warnings are always reviewed ahead of typical travel seasons, like the approaching Passover holiday. Israel's Counter-Terrorism Bureau said in regards to travel to Europe that Israelis should be more aware and be cautious of, quote, standing out, and that Israelis should also be wary of traveling to Africa, specifically the Horn of Africa, Nigeria, and Tunisia. The Conference of Presidents of major American Jewish organizations released a statement yesterday expressing their concern regarding the Palestinian Authority reportedly circulating a draft resolution to members of the United Nations Security Council, which calls on the council to condemn Israeli building in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. We had reported to you about the draft resolution last week. The conference leaders' chairman Stephen Greenberg and CEO Malcolm Hoenlein called the PA move yet another irresponsible maneuver to evade direct negotiations with Israel. PA President Mahmoud Abbas is planning to travel to the UN at the end of the month, where it is believed he will put the resolution to a vote. The conference noted that Abbas had tried to do the same back in 2011 with a similar resolution that was then vetoed by the United States. This time, the conference noted that Abbas was adding in condemnation of alleged settler violence against Palestinians in the resolution, but completely ignoring the over 300 separate attacks in the past 6 months by Palestinians against Israelis. Greenberg and Hoenlein said responsible members of the international community should focus their attention and expend their energy on getting President Abbas to the negotiating table, where all of the issues can be raised. Israeli business Daily Globes reported that the Israeli cosmetics firm Ahava has been bought by a Chinese investment group. The Fosun Group reportedly acquired the world-known cosmetic company that offers skincare products made from the mineral-rich mud of the Dead Sea for just under $77 million in an agreement signed Sunday night in Jerusalem. The company will continue to operate in Israel at its new plant set to open near Kibbutz Ein Gedi. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, April the 12th. At 7 o'clock, a discussion of Jewish journalism from the 2015 General Assembly. At 8, Education Director of the LGBTQ Initiative Sojourn, Rabbi Medwed, talks about the Bible and pop culture in his address to the Limud Conference New York of 2016. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Rabbi Uri Regev on L'chaim, and at 10, Jewish feminist leader and director of Women of the Wall, Leslie Sachs, speaks at the Barnard Temple in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. And coming up right after this newscast tonight in the news, and that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, April the 12th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader.